Good morning, pen friends. It's Kelly here. Welcome to my very first YouTube vlog. I'm rocking the barn potato outfit today because we are in my horse barn, and what I have planned for you all today is to kind of come along with me to swatch some Stormy Day inks, which are my favorite types of inks right now. In fact, my top favorite ink of 2026, I'm going to show it to you later in the video, but you're going to be surprised. It's a really low cost ink from a very affordable brand, but it's in so many pens right now. But we've had a barn emergency. Every day when you have a horse farm, you have to come out and you have to clean all the horse effluents out of their stalls, and we have a manure spreader. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you guys that. So this is my barn. These are horse stalls full of horses because of course it is raining heavily and thundering and lightning, so they don't go out on days like this. It's just safer for everyone. Horses can get struck by lightning. Anyway, I'll explain these giant boxes later, but this is my manure spreader, and see how that's not supposed to be like that? The tire in a tube is still inflated, so I think I should be able to get it back on the rim. It's not fully off the rim on the other side, but I got my air compressor and I've got a bottle jack, and I'm gonna try to somehow lift the spreader up and then gently reinflate this tire. So before I can even do anything fun, this is my mare Hermione. Anyway, before I can do anything fun at all, I have to fix this, scoop horse poop, and then I can get back inside to do some fun fountain pen and ink things. All right, I've got it jacked up. This is a bottle jack. I've never used it before, but I just read the instructions. And then Hermie is still supervising. She is a 10-year-old Andalusian mare. I have 4 Andalusians. All right, now I just have to pump this bad boy up and we can scoop the poop. Well, I'm back in the house now, and here's a little glimpse of all the random projects I have out on my desk. Yeah, I definitely need to do some tidying in my cozy room, and if we pan this way, I have to forgive the lighting. It is a kind of rainy, stormy day. There's my journaling reading cart. Sewing station, which is a mess. And then I have all these saddles that I need to get cleaned and down to a tack shop to get sold. Over there, all my short track stuff, speed skates, books. It is sheer chaos in here right now. I definitely need to spend some time in here, but today I had pulled all of these Stormy kind of inks out to swatch, and this category of ink is my favorite right now. And my number one top ink that's in the most of my pens is here on this table, and I will show it to you eventually. I'm also going to show swatches of all of these, and then I would really love to know if you have any other stormy blues and grays that are great for a thunderstormy summer day. All right, we're all set up. These are all of the inks that I'm going to swatch for you. This is my favorite category of ink right now. I did not elect to write each name of each ink in the ink that it is because I am struggling writing on camera because my desk is like, watch, I'll make you wobble. If I write, it's like a little earthquake. Oh, now I got my dogs barking. Shh, don't make too much noise or Joyce will bark. Okay, anyway, so let's check out some of my favorite inks right now. The first one is Wearing Ghoul, I Am a Cat. Oh, Joyce, chill out. And I'm gonna gently show you the bottle. This is a shimmer ink. I think shimmer inks are from the devil. And so I never use the shimmer. I just don't agitate it, and I just draw ink off the top. If you've come up with a way to filter the shimmer out of beautiful inks that should just not be shimmer inks, let me know. I'm going to dip in with this little spoon dipper thing that I got at the Chicago Pen Show. Oh, it's such a pretty ink. And I had this in a Yovo medium nib for quite a while, and it actually really writes very, very, very well. I just love it. Beautiful ink. Just the shimmer is awful. They should just stop doing that. And why don't I like shimmer inks? I do not like shimmer inks because they clog up everything and they just make your life an absolute misery. So I try to not do things that make my life harder, but yeah, I don't know. If you love shimmer inks and you're all right dealing with them, then that's totally cool. This ink is actually too light for me to write with, but I put this in a brush pen, one of the Pentel Fude brush pens, and it is absolutely gorgeous in a brush pen or like in a Tom Studio marker. And this is Gris Nuage. I don't speak French, it's not one of my languages, but it is this one, a Jacques Herbin ink. Okay, next up isn't technically really a gray ink. This is a Mont Blanc ink. It was from the Writer series. It's the Jane Austen, I think like umber. Yeah, umber color. This is sold out everywhere. Sorry to break your heart, but this is probably one of my all-time favorite inks along with my other Goofy ink. So this is kind of like the high-end favorite ink. I have this in my Mont Blanc, and then I have it in several other of my like gold nib pens and things like that. It just writes beautifully, and it isn't like a brown, it isn't like a black, it isn't like a blue. Here, I'll just show you. I made a little rhyme. It is gorgeous, and if I could get my hands on a whole nother bottle of this, I would be so happy. Oh, and see how it's like black, blue, and I don't know if the browns are being picked up on camera. And it just writes so beautifully. It just really flows out of every pen that I've put it in. High-end pens, low-end pens, affordable pens, etc. Mont Blanc Jane Austen. Okay, next one is another Mont Blanc ink that I also really like, but it's totally different gray from Mont Blanc. This is Mont Blanc Cool Gray. Just pop this on a page. I don't think I have, oh yeah, I have this inked in my TWSBI Amazonite. It's that marbled green one and a broad nib. If I put it in like a finer nib, like a medium or a fine, I can't remember which, and it was just too light. But in a thicker, like a stub or a broad, it looks really, really great, and it writes very, very well. It's very flowy. I have three Mont Blanc inks right now. Sorry. And the other one is like a burgundy. And all three are just really beautiful writers. Next up is a Robert Oster, and this was Coffee Monsters co-collab that I got from Atlas Stationers. I buy a lot of stuff from Atlas. You'll hear me talk about Atlas a lot, just simply because it is one of my closest pen shops. And I'm not sure if this one's technically a gray, where the others are kind of like bluish brown grays. This is sort of like a green gray. And I really think murky pond water is a good way to describe it. It's like if you've agitated a really silty bottom underneath some lily pads. It's what it reminds me of. I do think this one is a little bit drier writer. I put it in an extra fine TWSBI Eco, and I don't usually have flow issues with those personally, but I did feel like it was a little drier, but beautiful color. And then my second Robert Oster ink is one of my favorite Robert Oster inks. I have this right? Mystic Storm. I also got this one from Atlas. I'm not sure if this one is still available. This one's a couple years old, but I've actually made like an inch dent in this one. This is a super, super duper flowy ink, and sometimes it does have a little bit of a bleed through on lesser quality papers. But some papers it's bluer, some papers it's grayer, some papers it's purple. It's just a really, really gorgeous ink, and it writes really nicely in every pen. Currently I have this in a pen that's a flex nib, and the ink is flowy enough that it keeps up with the flex really, really well. All right, up next is an Iroshizuku ink, Fuyu Shiogen. Japanese is also not one of my languages, so forgive me. um, I do think it's important in your life to try to learn other languages. And if you followed me on TikTok, you would know that I study Middle Egyptian and Late Egyptian, and then I have been trying to learn Egyptian Arabic and Modern Standard Arabic. So those languages, and then Spanish, of course, I learned in high school because I'm Gen X. Just another really gorgeous bluish gray. But I find on some papers, this Fuyu Shiogen, it is just gray. And it does seem to be a tiny bit drier in finer nibs, but like in a fine, TWSBI fine or medium or broad, it brings out all of the different little shading properties of it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and a Birmingham Pen Company ink. Just got to give her a little shake. Sterling Silver. I do feel like this is a drier writing ink. If you have this ink, let me know what you think about it. I put it in a pen. I didn't super love how it was coming off out of the nib or off the nib. So I kind of tucked this ink away for a while and I haven't touched it. Maybe I need to give it a second try, but I really thought she really fit into this category, so I thought I would share it. But let me know if you're a Sterling Silver by a Birmingham Pen Company fan. Maybe I can be converted. Maybe I just need to put it in a really big juicy nib, or in one of my Tom Studio brush pens, or I've been using these, I'll show you one. Pentel Fude brush pens. They're like $8 on Amazon. And what they have is, this is gonna unscrew really quick. You can put a converter in there. This little Pentel converter that it comes with, and you can just refill them with whatever ink you want. But some of these inks that I don't enjoy writing with, that's what I've been doing with them, and it's super fun. Okay, next one is Anderillium Shoebill Stork Gray. And I put this in my medium nib, steel nib, Pilot Vanishing Point, or capless. And I do really, really like this ink. Sometimes I think that Anderillium inks are a little dry for me, but this one is not. It's very nice. And this is swatching a little darker, but when it comes out of a nib, it is a little lighter. Let me see if I can get some lighter lines for you. It's a lovely ink. And this is one that I got at their table at Chicago Pen Show this year. That was fun. They had like, you know, the show deal where you get so many and then you get one for like $5 or something. So of course I had to buy a whole bunch of inks. And my Anderillium collection has now grown. Okay, another Chicago Pen Show ink. This is a troublemaker ink called Petrichor. I love this ink, and all of the handwriting on this page, that is Petrichor. It is in my, I can actually pull this pen out, my Opus 88. This was one of their year of pens from 2024. One of my favorite pens. But this is a really juicy writer. And so this is a little bit drier ink, and it really, the dropper fill with a really juicy nib, it just looks beautiful. And this is a more green gray, and it starts out really green, and then, like you can see in the writing sample, it turns this sort of murky gray color, sort of like the lighter cousin to murky pond water. Okay. Next is a Graf von Faber-Castell, which is an ink brand that I only discovered this year. I bought my first bottle of it when I was in Innsbruck, Germany. And so I really liked that. It was the olive color, and then I've bought 2 or 3 more since, and every single one, they write really well, they flow really well, they play well with all of my pens, brush pens. I even have in one. Um, just a really amazing, good, all-around versatile ink, in my opinion. The only downside, like Mont Blanc, it's just a more expensive brand, unfortunately. But Stone Gray, another really beautiful gray. 2 more to go. Next up is another one from Birmingham Pen Company. And this is a color called Megalodon, and I have this in a bunch of pens right now. I do not understand why this ink has such a grasp on me right now, but it does. Um, I guess you just have to see it. And the pen that I have it in, I can show it to you really quick, is the Kino. I got the Kino Cherishment. This is what she looks like. This has an ebonite feed, which is, let's see if it'll, you can see, gorgeous nib. Maybe I can do a little scribble sample here in a second. The ebonite feed makes this Megalodon flow a little bit better. There are certain nibs that I would not use this with. I've tried to put it in some Jinhaos that were a little bit drier writers. That did not work, but the Kino, Benu, Schmidt nibs, some broader, like medium or broader Yovo nibs, it looks really beautiful. But it's sort of like, and it's not coming up on the camera, it's looking more green, but it's actually sort of like a blush pink gray on pretty much all papers, and it's a bummer that my camera is just not, I'll have to do a zoom in a minute, but the camera is not picking it up. But this section in here, you can really see the like pinky brown color. Just absolutely gorgeous. And it plays super well with Hobonichi papers. So of course, I've been using that in my Hobonichi cousin. Okay, last but certainly not least is my all-time favorite ink, Hongdian Gray. These are like $10 or $10 to $12 on Amazon. I don't know why, but this ink just has a complete chokehold on me. I probably have it in 10 pens right now. I don't know why I did that, but every time I think, what would I really like to write with today? I pick up Hongdian Gray. And in fact, there are 3 on this page that are generally what I'm using right now. Jane Austen, Megalodon, and then this one. And I'm going to swatch it, and you're going to be like, Kelly, that is just, it's just gray ink. But the way that it writes and the way that it plays well with every single nib, every single converter, because I think sometimes the Schmidt converters and the Yovo international type converters, they don't really allow the ink to flow out of them really well, and you often have to go back and like screw them down to push the ink up towards the feeds. But for some reason, Hongdian Gray, I often just don't have to do that. It's just a really beautiful dark gray, and depending on which nib you put it in or which pen you put it in, the line variation makes it be different shades of gray. And so I just really love it. All right, there they are, all of the Stormy Day sort of pseudo gray inks that I have been loving lately. I've been wanting to make this video for such a long time and get my YouTube channel started. So I hope you liked it. I'm just gonna take this apart so I can zoom in. And here are all of them up close. If you have any questions about what they are or where to get them, just drop me a comment and I can try to help you source. Beautiful inks. Good morning, pen friends. Welcome back to another little episode of Chaos in Kelly's Cozy Room. I started this project where I want to fill these Pentel refillable brush markers with fountain pen inks. And I filled a few of them up and I'm waiting for the ink to come down. But I also have these things. You can read that. Kuretake brand, I guess, Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. And I've struggled to use these because the set that I bought doesn't have a really great color palette to it. Everything's covered in cat hair, PS, because my cat just sat on my desk. So here's all the colors. I've pulled out ones that I think will go in a palette, and I tried swatching. These are the Zig brush marker, clean color brush markers. And I'm starting to swatch them all out. So I'm going to swatch out the palette that I have so far. And then what I'm curious about is, what does everyone think? Is this going to be a good enough palette to take out and do urban sketching with when I go on travels this summer? I'm really struggling to put together a decent palette that has both light and dark colors because this is what I bought. And I'm hoping these markers that I bought will help. And the market that I bought are these. I bought them on Amazon for about $8 or $9 a piece. And they come with 2 black ink cartridges, which you can puncture that end of it and suck all the black ink out, clean it out, and then using a blunt tip syringe, and you can get these all over on the internet at pen shops, Amazon, whatever. Take your fountain pen ink and then you squirt it in there and then you reload it back in. Here, I'll set up my tripod, I'll show you. So what you do is, this is one that's been inked for a little bit, but you just screw this off and you pop the cartridge in there once you either, if you want to use the black, you can use the black, or you can refill them. Like I said, you just clean them out. Let's see if I can aim that in there on camera. Okay, you just clean them out and then you can stick fountain pen ink. Because I refilled them, then I took these little round stickers and I'm putting what color is on them. I just had these left over from some project years ago. But I have 5 that I've filled with various things, and they haven't started to come down into the brushes yet. And I'm just waiting for those to come down. But I am going to swatch all of them for you. So far I've swatched, this top one, this is a blend of the black that comes with the pen and a sailor ink, and I accidentally contaminated the sailor ink with this kind of black color. So I'm just going to keep it and use it up this way and then do something else with it afterwards. And then this one is Jacques Herbin Gris Nuage, and it's this one right here. That's what this one is. And then these 2 are these brush markers. Now, do I need to take 3 grays with me out sketching? I'm going to the DC Pen Show, and I'm going to be in the DC area for about a week in August, and so I really want to take a good palette with me. Sorry about all the cat hair. My cat Bernie was in here, and I'll try to include him somehow in this video so you can see the little rascal. So I want to do a few pinks and a few purples. Like, I want like a full color palette. So this is number 203. I really love this blush pink. I think that's beautiful. I'm also considering number 204 because that's a little bit different. I like that one. And I have this hot pink one. I really like that because I could use that in sunsets and things. So maybe I would not take this middle one. And then I'm trying to figure out purples. One of the brush pens, Pentel pens, like this, that I inked up has one of those sailor flickering inks that's supposed to flicker purple. But here's a dark purple. And I didn't pick out any, oh, here's a green. This is the green that I thought. A dark green. And then one of the sailor inks I inked up was a green, light green. And then I guess I don't really have any browns. I pulled this sort of like brown orange out because I thought that was a very naturey color. And then I have this blue. It's just a blue that I like. Am I gonna need more blues? Probably, right? I feel like I would need a lighter one. I have a few more Tom Studio markers. I'm gonna go grab those and swatch those in there, and then let's see what we think. These are my Tom Studio Ori markers that I got from Atlas Stationers. And I had like Atlas does some kind of like rewards points program. And I had this like, you're on the A team, 25% off coupon. So I used that to buy these three. And these are the colors that I put in them. This one is Smoky Bourbon by Colorverse, which I think is a nice brown to complement that, but maybe I do need like a darker brown. But then that's three markers, three brown markers. And then this is Diamine Sepia, I think. And when you write it in a pen, it comes out so much darker, but in the marker, it's this like kind of bright sunny blue, yellow. So I kind of like that. And then these two, this one is Robert Oster Mystic Storm. And I did swatch this in a recent video. This is what it looks like in a marker. It looks like almost a different ink. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. And then this one is an Iroshizuku ink. It's like a really, really dark, light, bright pink ink. I don't think it's called Yozakura. It's called something else. Hold on. This one is this Hana Ikata. That's what it is. I love this ink. It's so beautiful in a pen as well. Okay, and the last marker I already have inked this is the Esterbrook Pigeon series, the Hamburg Pigeon. So I feel like these two are nice together with these grays. I mean, that can make stormy skies and other scenes, I guess, water, etc. And then this green is another Iroshizuku ink. It's like Hotarubi, I think is how you say it. And this is a really yellow green. So I guess I could do this green and this green. That's all right, hey? And then I have another green that's sort of mid-tone, maybe, and these other pens. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna wait until my brush pens are flowing, and then we'll swatch those and see if we think this is a good enough color palette to take out sketching. Okay, it's a little while later and all of my pens, Pentel brush pen things, the ink has come down into the brushes so I can swatch everything for you. And I'm gonna do it all like organized so then we can evaluate what colors I might actually need to add from my fountain pen ink collection. I'd have to purchase some more of these little black pens, but if I need one or two more to complete like a really nice sketch kit, that's okay. Okay, so we have this dark color. That's a blend of the original black that these come with and a Sailor ink that's supposed to be green. So I don't know, that one was just a mistake. Then we're gonna do, I'm gonna take out, already edited, I'm not gonna do this one, but I am gonna do this gray. I feel like that's a very Kelly gray, I like that. Then I'm gonna keep this guy, which is Gris Nuage. I really like that. It's a very stormy color. You know how I feel about stormy colors. Okay, what color should we do next? Let's do the greens. This is number 1902. No, number 402 of the Kuretake. Okay. And then this guy, and you can see the little swatch sticker I put on there. This is a Sailor ink, and it is, hold on. It is, I think, Amamoyoi. It's this one right here. You guys see that? I don't know why this came out so green. I don't know if it's just the swatch sticker. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean it is pretty green, but I think it's gonna be this like lovely sagey, um, buildable sort of green color that you would want for doing shadows and landscapes and things. Okay, so I have that green. What's my other green? Oh yeah, this one. Hotaru B, which is a more yellowy green. Yeah, that's a nice range of greens. And then I chose to ink up one with Celadon Cat by Diamine. And that looks like this. And a brush marker. I really, really, really like that. Okay, let's do some sort of brownie colors. We're gonna need this one. Okay, this is number 601. I'm still on the fence about this one. Maybe I should pick a more brownie brown and not like this orange brown. And that's, I said that, 601. Then this is Color vs. Smoky Bourbon, which I do really, really like. And then what else? And then this one is Kitsune Biori by Sailor, which is one of their flickering inks. And ooh, I just really like that. But you know, those three together, I am liking that. That's okay. And I only have one yellow. I have very few yellow inks. It's not a color I really enjoy. This is Diamine Sepia. And again, that one is different when it's in a pen. It's a lot darker. Oh wait, yeah, I totally used that one. Okay. And then let's see, some blues. So this is number 304, which I really, really, really like. And then this one, this maybe isn't a blue, but it's Byakuya. And it's so weird. This ink, I thought it would come out violet because, you know, look at what the bottle swatch is, and some papers I use this on and it comes out violet, but here it's really, really green. So let's just see. Yeah, I don't know. That's just really strange. It's not blue, it's not green. I'm not sure what color family this is going to fit into. I mean, and here's Celadon Cat. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking with this one, but it looks like a blue or green. Let's see. Then this is the Hamburg Pigeon. And my goal was to have more muted tones, but also to try to have some depth in the colors. And then let's see. I have this purple, Mystic Storm, which now doesn't feel purpley enough. So, but I do like it. And then I pulled this purple out of my brush markers. It's very dark. Okay, I think I want a different purple. Hold on, I'm gonna grab some more. So there's this purple, and then this purple are the other two purples. Oh, that's way too dark. But see what's so deceptive about these brush pens? That looks like it would be a beautiful muted lavender, but it's not. It's this super dark color. I'm so frustrated with these. Oh wait, which one is this one? No, that's that one. I think I'm gonna trade 808 out for this one. I do like that one better. So we're gonna say no to this one, but we're gonna take this one because it's more watery and muted. All right, pinks then. Down to my last category. This is that Iroshizuku bright pink that I can never remember what it's called. And then let's see. Oh, wait, let's go back in here. And then here are my other pinks. This is more of a brown pink or a flesh tone. Well, I mean, flesh tone for Kelly, the kind of human that I am. A pinky rose pink. And then this to put in sunsets. I wish I had, when I was at the store I bought this at, I wish I had gotten all the neon colors because I'd love to have like a neon orange for sunsets as well. Okay, so this is my color palette that I'm gonna take out in a little pouch to do kind of like urban sketching drawing. And I'm really curious, what do you think? What colors am I missing? Do I need more of these types of earthy tones? Yeah, what do I need? What am I missing? Or should I just take this off on a day trip and see what I can come up with? Let me know your thoughts.